The only way out of the labyrinth of suffering is to forgive. You grow as much as the amount of truth you're willing to accept about yourself without running away. The only intelligent tactical response to life's horror is to laugh defiantly at it. When I despair, I remember that all through history, the way of truth and love have always won. There have been tyrants and murderers, and for a time they can seem invincible, but in the end, they always fall. Think of it always. A brave man dies but once, a coward many times. The world is a tragedy to those who feel, but a comedy to those who think. Life is 10% what happens to you, and 90% how you react. A wise man takes more advantage of his enemies than a fool of his friends. The easiest way to destroy your self-confidence is to constantly break the promises you make to yourself. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. The more people who believe something, the more apt it is to be wrong. The person who is right often has to stand alone. The secret of success is to do the common thing uncommonly well. You can fool some of the people all of the time, and all of the people some of the time, but you cannot fool all of the people all of the time. It's no use wasting time worrying about what other people think about you. No one is thinking about you. Rich people have small TVs and big libraries, and poor people have small libraries and big TVs. Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. Not everyone is going to believe in what you believe in. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. Live life with opened eyes, ears, and heart. Every adversity, every failure, and every heartache carries with it the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. A mind that is stretched by a new experience can never go back to its old dimensions. You are not promised anything in life. No contract was signed with you. Do not slander your neighbor so you won't hear something that yourself will not rejoice at. The root of all suffering is attachment. Sometimes you just need to relax and have faith that things will work out. Let go a little and just let life happen. Live in reality as it is, not as you wish it was. Trust is built over the life of a relationship, but can be lost in an instant if you're not careful. It is difficult to make the right choice if you fear choosing wrongly. Don't cling to yesterday. It was beautiful, but it was yesterday. Judge a man by his questions rather than by his answers. The good life is not one immune to sadness, but one in which suffering contributes to our development. Everything you do doesn't have to be seen or heard. To avoid criticism, say nothing, do nothing, be nothing. The best view comes after the hardest climb. Procrastination is the thief of time. Color it. A person can become close to you in 3 days, and the one who lives near you for years may never know what your favorite color is. Some people never go crazy. What truly horrible lives they must lead. I don't hate people, I just feel better when they're not around. Your life improves once you realize no one cares. You have to die a few times before you can really live. Your strongest muscle and worst enemy is your mind. Train it well. When you build in silence, people don't know what to attack. You can cut all the flowers, but you cannot keep spring from coming. If you can make a girl laugh, you can make her do anything. If a man knows more than others, he becomes lonely. Life, if well lived, is long enough. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Don't worry about controlling your emotions. Control your actions. Say no more than you wish to have said. Try not to become a man of success, but rather become a man of value. One day, you'll thank yourself for never giving up. Make peace with your past so it won't screw up the present. No man's knowledge here can go beyond his experience. Following a path is easy. Creating a new one can be painful, but it will lead you to new places. The fear of death increases in exact proportion to the increase in wealth. Be prepared to change your ideas about who you want to be. This is an important feedback loop as you gain life experience. The trouble is if you don't spend your life yourself, other people spend it for you. The only thing standing between you and your goal is the bogus story you keep telling yourself as to why you can't achieve it. In any given moment, we have two options: to step forward into growth or step back into safety. The world is tough for young people today. He constantly repeated, seeking to simplify other people's lives with his advice. Every next level of your life will demand a different you. Do it now. Sometimes later becomes never. The best revenge is massive success. Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. The real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes. Do yourself a favor, get rich. Life gets easier with money, not time. Every moment is a fresh beginning. Faith begins precisely where thinking leaves off. To live will be an awfully big adventure. You can't cross the ocean until you lose sight of the shore. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Sometimes we're tested not to show our weaknesses, but to discover our strengths. The wise man is one who knows what he does not know. Not telling everyone everything, even when you have a lot to say, is top-tier self-care. Talking without thinking is like shooting without aiming. What we fear doing most is usually what we most need to do. Do what lifts you up in your eyes. Sometimes you can make all the right choices and then have to sit there and watch them all crumble around you. You just have to pick up the pieces and keep moving. Simplicity is always the secret to a profound truth, to doing things, to writing, to painting. Life is profound in its simplicity. You are not what happened to you. You are what you chose to become. Learn to cook a few basic dishes. It's a valuable life skill. You don't realize the true value of a moment until it becomes a memory. Do a good job. You don't have to worry about the money. It will take care of itself. Just do your best work, then try to trump it. Allow yourself to be a beginner. No one starts off being excellent. Avoid gossip at all costs. It's poison to your mind. You may have had unfair things happen to you, but the depth of your pain is an indication of the height of your future. It's the little details that are vital. Little things make big things happen. No matter how challenging it is, don't show your weaknesses. People will enjoy the show. Don't make decisions based on fear. Make them based on hope. We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality. Live for the praise of others, and you will become their prisoner. If you would be a real seeker after truth, it is necessary that at least once in your life you doubt as far as possible all things. I used to hate my grandfather when I was a child, as he constantly tried to teach me boring lessons about how to live life, distracting me from carefree games. If you can't understand why someone is doing something, look at the consequences of their actions, whatever they might be, and then infer the motivations from their consequences. Do not be lured by the need to be liked. Better to be respected, even feared. Work until your idols become your rivals. The most valuable currency is not money, but time. Spend it wisely. Don't reach out to a person, or you'll scare him away. 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than the ones you did. When you were born, you cried and the world rejoiced. Live your life so that when you die, the world cries and you rejoice. Love is like a serious illness, an illness from which you never entirely recover. Perfection is achieved not when there is nothing more to add, but when there is nothing left to take away. True good fortune is what you make for yourself. Good fortune, good character, good intentions, and good actions. Every person alive hits a crossroads in life when you have to let go of the past and forge ahead into something new. Never give up on a dream just because of the time it will take to accomplish it. The time will pass anyway. Leap, and the net will appear. Mistakes are proof that you are trying. Do what no one else can do, and you will become what no one else can become. Stop waiting for the right time. Time isn't waiting for you. You are in charge of your own happiness. You don't need to wait for other people's permission to be happy. Never bend your head. Always hold it high. Look the world straight in the eye. The gem cannot be polished without friction, nor man perfected without trials. The only failure is not trying. Do what you can with what you have where you are. Watch your character. It becomes your destiny. Don't raise your voice. Improve your argument. The energy we spend to complain can be redirected to act for change. If you don't overcome your tendency to give up easily, your life will lead to nothing. The only true wealth is time. You cannot protect yourself from sadness without protecting yourself from happiness. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Sometimes it's best just to cut people off. No matter how hard it is, some people just aren't worth the effort. A leader is a dealer in hope. This is your world. Shape it, or someone else will. A man without a vision for his future always returns to his past. Truth is not what you want it to be. It is what it is, and you must bend to its power or live a lie. He who wants to hold on to that is losing. Those who are ready to let go with a smile are trying to keep him. The more you have, the more people will envy you. Every time you lie, you are creating problems that you will have to deal with in the future. Do the right thing now. From the point of view of youth, life is an endless future. From the point of view of old age, it is a very short past. The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps and a lion to frighten wolves. Waiting for change while not doing anything for it is like waiting for the train at a bus stop. Learn as if you constantly feel you lack knowledge, and as if you are constantly afraid of losing your knowledge. Let reality be reality. Success is the sum of small efforts, repeated day in and day out. Everything has beauty, but not everyone can see. It is important that we forgive ourselves for making mistakes. We need to learn from our errors and move on. Never put off treatment until later. People don't forget. Nothing gets forgiven. Watch your actions. They become your habits. There is time for everything. Life is short, and it is up to you to make it sweet. Do not fear getting hurt. You can't grow if you don't hurt. In the end, you'll be much happier. The purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well. If you're going to try, go all the way, otherwise don't even start. There is only one thing that makes a dream impossible to achieve: the fear of failure. The only way to feel better about yourself is to do things worth feeling good about. Don't hold on to anyone who's leaving. Otherwise, you won't meet the one who's coming. The greatest discovery of the 20th century is that our attitude of mind determines our quality of life, not circumstances. Work on you for you. The bad news is time flies. The good news is you're the pilot. If you have a strong purpose in life, you don't have to be pushed. Your passion will drive you there. He is the most powerful who has power over himself. Be humble enough to know you can lose everything, but be confident enough to know you can get it all back. Don't be afraid to move slowly. Be afraid only of standing still. Don't let your victories go to your head, or your failures to your heart. Finding the lesson behind every adversity will be the one important thing that helps get you through it. If you spend too much time thinking about one thing, you'll never get it done. Whatever is causing you worry or pain right now won't cause you worry or pain forever. If you treat an individual as he is, he will remain how he is. But if you treat him as if he were what he ought to be and could be, he will become what he ought to be and could be. Sometimes you can't see yourself clearly until you see yourself through the eyes of others. Instead, invest your energy in what is right in front of you. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Whatever can happen at any time can happen today. Whatever the present moment contains, accept it as if you had chosen it. To be able to forget means sanity. Sometimes you just have to accept that some people can only be in your heart, not in your life. We have 4 problems: overthink, overtrust, overshare, overlove. Anyone you love can die at any time. Cherish them. No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself. Worrying is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but doesn't get you anywhere. There's only one thing more precious than our time, and that's who we spend it on. The busier we are, the more acutely we feel that we live, the more conscious we are of life. Dreams don't work if you don't. Nothing makes a man so adventurous as an empty pocket. Problems worthy of attack prove their worth by hitting back. Talent is formed in silence, character in stormy disturbances of life. Boast speeches are the first sign of weakness, and those who are capable of great things keep their mouths shut. Reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears. Sometimes a hypocrite is nothing more than a man in the process of changing. You cannot change what you are, only what you do. Love is built on trust and communication. Dogs and angels are not very far apart. Do not cling to any one person, not even your most beloved. Every person is a prison and also a hiding place. Buy not what you need, but what is necessary. When you cease to dream, you cease to live. I have learned over the years that when one's mind is made up, this diminishes fear. Life has got all those twists and turns. You've got to hold on tight, and off you go. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or objects. Thanks for watching. To make sure you don't miss any future videos, please click the circular subscribe button in the middle of the screen. You can also check out more videos on the left or our playlists on the right. Don't forget to like and share to help us spread the word. Thanks you.